Hi, Bubby. Are you joining me? Me? You gonna be joining me? Oh, you are. Okay, so you'll be here. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Anya, and this is my little friend Toast. She will be popping in and out of the video, but first I just wanted to introduce my channel. This is going to be a yarn/knitting channel, and currently I have a lot of yarn/knitting to do, so hopefully I will document it. I am unfortunately a slow knitter, so updates probably won't be too much, but I will do my best. First of all, this video is the introduction to my Destash journey, epic series, I don't know. But essentially I am going to go through my current stash that I have right now. I will talk about the fiber types, where I got it, and just what I plan on using it for, as well as just like showing off the yarn I have. My goal is to only have yarn for specific projects. So if I am going to buy yarn, I will buy it for a specific project. And I only really want like 3 projects worth of yarn in my house at all times. I'm not the type of person to have like walls of yarn. It kind of stresses me out to have that much, because I just need to use it. So yeah, that's what this is going to be about. As you can tell, I'm very new to this, so it will be fun. This challenge is inspired by other YouTubers, particularly Retro Claude or Claude, and Ecosyun. I will link their channels in the description, just because they have like their own little Destash journeys, and I also I like making videos, so I figured I would try to make a video myself. So the videos will help keep me accountable and hold me accountable to actually like using yarn and not buying any, because I do like to wander into yarn stores and I like to buy stuff. So a little bit about me. I'm Anya again, but I am based out of Ottawa, Canada. I've been knitting since 2016, and I have been crocheting off and on since about 2020. My crochet skills are not the greatest. I can do the stitches, but I'm not very good at it, but I like doing it anyways. I do prefer to knit. I am wearing a knitted piece. I don't have very many because I am a gift knitter. I tend to give my knit stuff away, but this is the first sweater I've ever made for myself that I've actually kept. It is the Stripe Hype sweater, and I will link the pattern down there. It's by Kuto Fukika. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce things. I can't talk normally, and so just words that I'm not familiar with, I do not pronounce well. Even though I've been knitting since 2016, I would still say that I am an intermediate knitter, as I tend to stick to projects I'm comfortable with, mostly stockinette, a little bit of lace work, but not that much. I have never done color work before, and I want to do it, but to do that, I would have to buy yarn for a specific project, so there will not be any color work in this series until I am comfortable enough to actually buy more yarn. I do want to try to expand my horizons. I have done cables before, but only for like a hat. But I would like to do more fun projects and challenge myself as I go through this series. I do have ADHD, so I will tend to go off topic, or some things I will say that have connections in my head but do not have connections out loud. And if I do that, I'm sorry. Maybe I will try to explain my connections on screen and text if I remember, which I probably won't. Now, about not knitting stuff, I have a degree in developmental psychology, and I am currently attending teachers college, so I will be a school teacher eventually. For this summer, or at least while I'm filming this, starting this, I have like a 9-to-5 office job just to tide me over until classes start again in September. In my spare time, I write young adult novels. I have yet to be published, but hopefully one day. That's also very hard, so we'll see. And I was thinking of starting a writing YouTube, but I don't really think I will, because I don't know what to do with a writing YouTube apart from just be like click clack on the keyboard and write like that. When I'm not knitting, I like to bake. I bake a lot of bread. I do have a sourdough starter. She is currently not well. Maybe I will resurrect her. Maybe that will be a series too. I don't know. But I enjoy reading as well. I am a very picky reader, and I'm struggling right now, reading some. I am trying to read more, so I'll probably mention books and stuff like that. I play video games in my spare time as well, mostly girly pop video games like The Sims and Stardew Valley. I used to play some first-person shooters, but I kind of got tired of that. And I am a massive nerd and play Magic the Gathering, but I only play Commander. Do not ask me about Standard or Modern or anything like that. Do not ask me about deck building. I just look at Archideck and make the deck from there. I suck at Magic, but I have fun. Like I said, this is Toast. She is my cat and my companion. She is about 3 years old, and she absolutely loves string. Anything that I have knit has at least some cat spit in it, and definitely a lot of cat hair, but she is my companion when it comes to knitting and yarn, and you'll probably see as I go through my yarn, she will be playing with it. And yeah, a lot of the time, I like to make socks, so a lot of the time I have scrap yarn because I have quite small feet, and that yarn just becomes her toy. She has balls of yarn everywhere. Those are her toys. Yes, she is supervised. She does not ingest the yarn, so I don't have to worry about her choking or getting like clogs or anything like that. She is supervised when she plays with stray. She also loves to steal my seat. My office chair is absolutely a disaster because she likes to scratch on the back of it when I am not paying attention to her. So I mentioned my goals for the Destash is that I just want to get rid of the yarn I currently have. I have a lot of yarn and I want to get rid of it. Some people might think it's not a lot of yarn, but for me it is a lot. It takes up a whole cupboard in my closet, and I really kind of want to just get rid of that. It just stresses me out just knowing it's sitting there. I've had a bunch of yarn for years now that I just haven't used, and I keep buying more, and I'm like, I need to stop. I do have some rules for the Destash. There are only 3, and if I think of any more, I don't know, I'll just add like a little new rule. But right now it's only 3. And so the first one is the only yarn that I am allowed to purchase or receive as gifts from my partner, because they do like to buy me yarn, are sock yarn skeins that are hand dyed and are from destinations outside of either my hometown or where I currently live right now, because I really just like getting dyed sock yarn from local dyers, and I make a lot of vanilla socks because I just like to show off the yarn, and I'm basic, and like I said, I don't challenge myself. I do have the 52 weeks of socks book, so I am planning on doing that eventually, branching into that. But that is the only yarn I am allowed to purchase or allowed to receive as gifts from my partner specifically. I can't really control everybody in my life getting me yarn, so hopefully they don't. I'll just tell them not to. But if I do want to get some yarn, that will be the only yarn. I do have some rules for the Destash. There are only 3, and if I think of any more, I don't know, I'll just add like a little new rule. But right now it's only 3. And so the first one is the only yarn that I am allowed to purchase or receive as gifts from my partner, because they do like to buy me yarn, are sock yarn skeins that are hand dyed and are from destinations outside of either my hometown or where I currently live right now, because I really just like getting dyed sock yarn from local dyers, and I make a lot of vanilla socks because I just like to show off the yarn, and I'm basic, and like I said, I don't challenge myself. I do have the 52 weeks of socks book, so I am planning on doing that eventually, branching into that. But that is the only yarn I am allowed to purchase or allowed to receive as gifts from my partner specifically. I can't really control everybody in my life getting me yarn, so hopefully they don't. I'll just tell them not to. But if I do want to get some yarn, that will be the only yarn. Can you stop licking yourself, please? On camera, how rude. Oh, I have to censor that. Can you not? So number 2 is I can buy yarns for specific projects only if I have a gift card. I often get a gift card to a local yarn store that I really enjoy, and they have a lot of yarn, so sometimes I will go out and splurge. But in my head, it's not actual money because it's a gift card. So the money is not mine that's being spent. I really just want to sort of save money. I am currently in school, so it's a little bit expensive to live, and you know, the economy is great right now, so that's fun. But if I have a gift card and I have a specific project in mind, I'm not just going to go buy yarn for the sake of buying yarn. If I have a specific project in mind, I am allowed to go out and get it with the gift card, as long as it does not exceed the gift card. And then number 3 is if I don't know what I'm going to do with the extra yarn. So like, for example, I finish a sweater and I have a couple of skeins left. I'm going to donate it or sell it. Or if I can't think of anything to do with it, it's going. I'm not just going to keep it. I might keep a little bit for mending, but apart from that, it is going to be gone. I'm not going to keep it just because I paid for it. I don't want it. I want it gone. I have actually given rid of a lot of yarn. I used to buy a bunch of mystery bags from Hobie. I love those things, but not very practical. So I have just gotten rid of yarn for cheap, or because I am a school teacher, I do like to teach kids how to crochet. So I will either use it and add it to my like teaching kids basket, which doesn't count because it's not my stash, it's the kids' stash. So I know that's kind of like a made up rule, but it's the kids' stash. If I decide it's the kids' stash, it's no longer mine. I don't have to worry about it. So those are the 3 rules. I think they're simple. I have a bad memory. I forget things a lot. I think it comes with the ADHD. Now I am going to get my yarn, and I will lay them out on this bed. Miss Ma'am will probably really enjoy that because she loves string. And I will go through the yarn and we will discuss what they are and their meterage and their grams and their fiber content and what I plan to make with it. So we are going to start actually off with the balls of yarn. I am not counting as my stash. This is weird. I don't even have them out on the bed yet, so I should probably grab them. But I have some Red Heart Super Saver yarn. I make little mushroom hats in my spare time. I will link the pattern to the mushroom hats down below, but I sell them, so I don't really count it as yarn in my stash because it's not going to be like a finished object that I make, and it's going to be something that I'm going to replenish as I sell the hats and then need to make more. So I don't really think of it as stash yarn. It's just sort of something that is there. I also have some Lion Brand Ice Cream Big Scoop because I make bandanas with it to also sell. Haven't sold one yet because I suck at marketing, but whatever. Baby. Oh, you're playing. Oh. She goes wild. Like I told you, she loves string. Those just don't count. I will have their information up on the screen as I mentioned them, but I bought them off Amazon. They don't really count as yarn to me. I don't know why. And as well as this yarn, I have it in red and I have it in gray. It is Wool Power Big, I'm pretty sure, from Hobie. I will put up the meterage and stuff on the screen as well. But it doesn't count because it is currently, or at least was, it's going to be a scarf. Just a garter stitch scarf. Because I was teaching my partner how to knit and he hasn't really worked on it very much. So hopefully that yarn will be used up as he makes his scarf. You can kind of see the very beginner, not to be mean to him, but he doesn't know how to knit. So it's very beginner, but that doesn't count because it's not my stash. It's my partner's stash. So let's get to it. First, we're gonna go into my soft yarn, which is right over here. Most of it is like 100 grams, 75, 80 merino, 25% nylon or polyamide. My dad gets mad when you call it polyamide because technically every protein is a polyamide, but he's just a nerd, so we don't listen to him. But first, let's see what I got. We have this one right here. It is Alegria by Manos de la Rique. It is in the color Dragon, And it is, let's see, it is 75% merino superwash and 25% polyamide. It is 405 meters per skein and 100 grams skein. This will be a pair of vanilla socks for my partner. A lot of these will just be vanilla socks because I love making them and I can make the pair in like a week. And it's just a fast in-between project when I want to get something done. So this is for my partner. He picked out the skein and everything and he wants to. I'll just look a little closer. Woo! So pretty. And it will be a nice pair of socks. I am kind of hoping it's self-striping, but it doesn't really look like it will be just based off the skein. But yeah. Then I have Echoes by Gusto Wool. Again, 80% merino, 20% nylon, superwash, 400 meters for a 100 gram skein. All of these are just going to be vanilla socks. I will link the pattern down below. Oh, Bubby. But that is what we have. Next one is Color Story. This is by Estelle Yarns. Estelle is a Canadian company. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else. Ravelry says only in Canada, so maybe it's only in Canada. But this is the hand-painted sock yarn. It's hand-painted in Peru. It is 75% superwash and 25% nylon, 400 meters and 100 grams. It's sock yarn. This sock yarn is fingering weight. I'm just going to preface that now because it's sock yarn. I mean, there is some DK sock yarn, but all the sock yarn I have is fingering weight. I did not mention this color is called Forest. And I did not mention what this color is called. And it's color 1513. It's this nice browny yellow. And then I have this sock yarn. This one definitely looks like it's going to be self-striping, but I'm not too sure. It is Organic Cottage Socks by Fleece Artists, and it is 80% organic merino. Oh, hi, Bubby. And 20% polyamide. Oh, yummy. And again, fingering weight sock yarn. It is 349 meters for 115 grams. So it's not really the typical stuff. Oh, she's standing in the bag I brought. Anyways, I need to stop getting distracted by my own cat. I see her every day. Why is she's so cute? And then with the sock yarn, I also have some Sandnesgarn Sisu, which is 80% wool and 20% nylon. It is superwash. Like I said, I have the 52 weeks of sock book. I am probably going to make a pair of socks. I have two of these. I am probably going to make a pair of socks out of this from there. They are, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is 50 grams for 175 meters. And I got color 9573, which is this nice forest green, which is one of my favorite colors. So we'll do that. And then I have this sock yarn that my partner got for me in Toronto, actually, at a yarn store that I don't remember. It is German, so I can't really read the label. And it is 75% wool and 25% polyamide, like most other socks are. It's like Regenwald 18 Dye Expedition. I don't know if it's German. I can't read German. It's by Opal, I'm pretty sure. So if there's anybody from Germany who has heard of this brand before, let me know. It is 100 grams and 425 meters. And it will be a pair of socks like all this other yarn. Moving on, I actually have a DK weight yarn, this one right here, that I will be making into a pair of socks. It is Estelle Double Knit, and it is 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% polyamide. It is, I think, 100 gram skein. Let me just double check. It is 100 gram skein and it's 250 meters. I've actually had an exact skein like this before, and I was making a pair of socks with it for my partner, and unfortunately I left my knitting bag on the bus and I never got it back, and there was about 90% of a sock in there. Luckily I hadn't started on the second sock. If it was the second sock, I think I would have just like I cried a lot because I never got my knitting back and I had to replace my needles and everything, which sucked. But this is my redemption yarn. I am redeeming myself, and I will make him a pair of socks with this in redemption. So hopefully that will be soon. Since this DK weight, it's going to go by really quickly. I could probably make the socks in like 3 days. So maybe when I need a quick project, I'll just pick this up and do it. Now moving on, I also have more sock yarn. If you can tell, I like sock yarn. And if you can also tell, this is what this sweater is made out of. It is the Hobby Black Friday sock yarn. I don't really know if the label I got on it was correct because I got it from a mystery bag. I actually had 8 balls of this. I had 4 of each color, and the color on both of the colors was the same number, so I don't really think the labels were correct. But it did say it was 400 meters for 100 grams and 75% wool and 25% polyamide. But like I said, I don't know if I can believe that because the labels said they were the same color, and it was a mystery bag, and Hobby just tends to chuck things in mystery bags. But it is actually really nice yarn. The sweater is really comfortable. I definitely had enough to make the sweater out of it, and I do have enough probably to make a pair of socks each, maybe more. So I might make some striped socks to match my sweater so I can just be incredibly matching. My cat is currently playing with the 1 ball of yarn I left in my closet behind, so I'm gonna go grab that and hopefully get her to stop making some noise. I have this yarn back here. This is very chaotic. I have 2 skeins of this and 1 skein of this, and this is Hobby Divina. It is 50 grams for 150 meters. It is 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, 7% merino wool. It is very soft and I love it very much. This is actually like leftover yarn. I made, I think, a novice sweater with this held double stranded, and I didn't like this sweater. I could see all the mistakes on it and it bothered me a lot. So I gave it to my sister, and it is very well loved by my sister and her roommates. This color is dark forest. And then for this one, I have 3 skeins of this. It is the color curry, and I actually made a sweater with it for my friend. So I think I have pictures of it. If I do, I'll insert the pictures. I don't know if I have pictures of this one, but this made a very lovely sweater. I have 3 balls of this, and I am going to be making this into a kilometer scarf by Florence Miller. I really enjoy scarves, so I think it would be nice. I was just probably going to use up 1 skein in the round and then attach a different color and then just do like a stripe. I'm probably not going to do like stripes, like smaller stripes, but it is just, I need to get rid of it, so I'm going to make a scarf, and it just feels like it would be an easy project. I don't know if this yarn is suited for a scarf. I don't think it will hold up very well, especially because I don't have the knitted garments that I actually made with this, so I don't know how well it holds up, if it pills or not. But it does have a little bit of polyamide in it, so maybe that will keep it strong and not pilly. For my next project, I actually have this. As you can see, I used to cake up all my yarn for storage, and then I learned, oh, you shouldn't cake it up because it's bad for the yarn. It stretches it out or something like that. But alas, this is Hobby Highland wool. As you can tell, I really like Hobby. And it is in Ruby Port. It is a DK weight. It is quite thin for a DK, in my opinion. But maybe that's just because I caked it up and now it's all stretched out. But it is 100% wool, and it is 50 grams and 175 meters. This is going to be a sporty knit skirt by Florence Miller, but only the skirt portion. I have a lot of issues with skirts and like shorts in garments because I tend to think they're a bit too short. I have thick thighs, and they rub together as thick thighs do. And so if the shorts are too short, it's really uncomfortable. So I was just going to make the skirt portion a little bit extra long and do that. I don't really know how many skeins I have in this because I did actually start the sporty knit skirt years ago, and I had to frog it because the elastic I made was not great, and it was just too small, and I was going to have to redo it. So this will be the sporty knit skirt. It is probably going to be my next project, but I don't actually know because I'm thinking about other things that I want to do with all this yarn I have. So most likely, maybe not. We'll see. These are projects that aren't in any order. Like I said, I probably will do the sporty knit skirt next, but I don't actually know. But this is Concept by Katya. It is the Cotton Yak, and it is color 115, which is this lovely navy blue, and it is 60% cotton, 30% wool, and 10% yak, 50 grams and 130 meters. I have two balls actually in this color, 106, which is this like mustard yellow. I made the Helix halter by Jessie May in this, but I have two left over, and honestly I probably could have made the Helix halter longer, but I was worried about running out, and I don't want to lose Yarn Chicken and have a different dye lot. But for this one, Cotton Yak 115, the navy blue color, it is also going to be a Jessie made pattern. It will be the framework raglan. Hopefully I have enough yarn for it. If not, I'll make a smaller size and give it to one of my friends. But I really like Jessie made. She has a lot of good patterns, and they're all very size inclusive. And if you sign up to her newsletter, actually, she does give you like coupon codes for like 25% off her patterns or 50% off their patterns as like a sort of pay what you can. So it's really nice for a student on a budget if you want to buy a nice pattern that you know has been tested and is beautiful. So I really recommend her patterns, especially for beginners. She's definitely one of my favorite designers that I've ever done. And her little crop top was the pattern was free back in COVID days, and it is probably the first garment that I actually ever made that's not like a hat or a scarf, and it was super easy to follow, and I really enjoy it, and I do need to make some more. So Jessie made framework raglan, Concept by Katya. Next is more hobby. I have 4 skeins of this Winter Glow, as you can see. I have it in this really nice black rose copper color, which is going to be really fun to knit with because everybody knows how fun black yarn is to knit with. But it is 51% wool and 49% acrylic, and it comes in 200-gram balls, which is about 700 meters. I am probably going to just make like a DK weight sweater with it. The yarn says it's worsted. But it is sort of variegated in like thickness. I forget what that term is called actually. And I don't think that's a worsted weight in my opinion. But also, do I know anything? I will probably make just a plain stockinette DK weight sweater because there's no point in making anything with cables or anything if it's black because you will not see it. I've made a couple sweaters before with Winter Glow, and it is very nice and cozy. My sister is currently enjoying the sweater because I did not like it. So there's a theme of me not liking things I've knitted and just giving them away, which is why I don't have a lot of knitwear, and probably in all these episodes I will be wearing just like store-bought clothes because I don't have a lot of stuff for myself. So hopefully by completing this challenge I will actually have more stuff for myself. But going on to the beige one, I was thinking of either making the balloon sweater by Petite Knit in it. Sorry, I didn't even say what color this is. This is a pastel beige color. It has like green and pink and stuff like that. It's really pretty. It's a lot more colorful than I thought it was when I bought it. I thought it was more of that like beigey gray color, but it is nice. And so I was thinking of either making the balloon sweater by Petite Knit with it, and or the field sweater by Camilla Vad. I do actually own the field sweater pattern already, so I should probably use the pattern I already own instead of buying one. But also, I love me some stockinette boring ass sweaters. So we'll see if I make the balloon sweater or not. I really like the sleeves on that one. So yeah, but I just think it would be really pretty in this nice pastel color. I don't know if it will wash me out though, so maybe I'll have to give it away like everything else I knit. But whatever. I actually have two yarns that I am grouping together. Not because they are similar yarns in any sense, but because I am going to be making the same project with them. And that is the Oslo sweater by Petite Knit. It is just a hat pattern that uses up the yarn that I have, and I don't want something complicated. So I will grab the yarns and then I will talk. So the first yarn I have is Alpaca Merino DK by Estelle. I know this yarn is discontinued, so you can't get it anymore unless somebody is selling it from their stash. My sister bought this for me years ago for Christmas, and I just didn't know what to do with it. So I can't find it on the website, and Ravelry says it's discontinued, so it probably is. It is color 615, which is this teal blue color. And again, it will be an Oslo hat. So it is DK weight and it's 250 meters for a 100 gram skein. It's 60% alpaca and 40% wool. So it will be a nice hat, I think. My next project, Oslo hat, is with this Fleece Jacob DK by West Yorkshire Spinners. I actually bought this in England. I recently went on a trip to England, and this was my souvenir with some yarn. It is 225 meters for a 100 gram skein, and it is just 100% British wool, which is what I wanted when I was going to England to buy stuff. It is undyed. It is just this lovely brown color. And again, it will be an Oslo hat. I think it will be nice and warm. And it will probably actually be for my partner. He works up north, so it gets really cold. So I think it would be a nice sort of warm hat. It might be a bit scratchy on your head, but I'm not sensitive to wool, so I don't know. So it would have to be up to him. So yeah, that's that. So next I have some unlabeled yarn that might hurt your eyes. And it is Fox Neon 4-ply by Rico. It's hurting my eyes just looking at it. It is superwash muslin free wool and 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. It is 400 meters per skein and fingering weight. I have it in this pink and green. I actually use this to make a pair of leg warmers for my friend who does roller derby. She loves bright neon colors. I don't, as you can tell by the rest of the yarn, not being bright neon colors. But with this, I made some, it was called Switcheroo Leg Warmers by Sarah Smoolin. And her pattern is free on Ravelry, which I will also link in the description. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but all of the patterns will be linked in the description in the order they appear. But again, I will probably just make another pair of leg warmers with this, but with opposite colors because I used more of the pink than I did of the green. So if I switch it around, it should be pretty good. So that's just another simple knitting stockinette in a tube. So it shouldn't take me too long, but it is kind of boring. So we'll see if I get around to it anytime soon. My next yarn is this Black Friday cotton cake by Hobbii. I bought this ages ago because I really liked the color, but it's not me. I will never wear it as a shawl or anything like that, so I don't know what to do with it. But it is 200 grams and 800 meters, and it is just pure cotton. You can get this around Black Friday. Obviously, it's not Black Friday right now, so I can't link it, but it is on Hobie's website Black Friday. I think they still sell this color. I don't know. Does it have a color number on it? It is color 08. So 8. I don't know why I said 08. It is color 8. But it will probably be a shawl, and I'll probably give it to one of my friends because she usually likes to wear bright colors. Different friend from roller derby friend, but we'll see. They do have these really nice easy start tabs, which makes your life super easy when you're starting. I just need to find a good shawl pattern, preferably crocheted. I prefer to crochet shawls than knit, but we'll figure it out. Or I might just keep it as a cute little present. I bought 2 at the time, and I gave one to my friend because I was going to teach her how to crochet. I don't know if she still has it, but maybe we'll do something in tandem together. We'll crochet a little shawl together with our yarn, and then we'll have matching shawls, which I will give away because I don't like this color. But yeah. Oh, you sniffing the yarn? She's sniffing. Does it smell like sheep? So moving on, I have a single skein of Estelle worsted. I made a vest for my partner with it, and this is all that remains. I also did make him a pair of DK vanilla socks with this yarn, so he has matching socks and matching vest. And it used up one in like a little bit skein, and now I just have this. I initially bought 5 skeins, and it made the whole vest and the socks, and obviously I have one left over. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might make myself a pair of shorty socks with it, just because that's all it can probably do. It is the exact same like content as Estelle DK. It is just in worsted weight, and it is color 61206. So 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% polyamide. It is 200 meters for 100 grams. Might be a pair of socks. That's all I can tell you. I don't know. This is one of the I don't knows. It just exists. I also, the next project, which actually might be my next project because I have been putting this off for years. But I have this whole project bag from Hobie. I don't know if they sell it anymore. I think it was being discontinued. But here's the project I was making with. Oh, I still have the needles attached. I should probably not. It is going to be a blanket with the Incredibles logo on it. But the problem is, I recently found out that I was twisting my pearls. I taught myself to knit. I had a friend teach me how to cast on and how to knit, do the knit stitch. And I taught myself everything else. And so when I taught myself how to purl, I just sort of did it. I didn't look up how to do it. And the way I did it was twisted. And I didn't find out I was twisting my pearls until earlier this year. So all of this is going to have to be frogged. And I am probably going to redo it in crochet because crochet is faster. And I have so much of this. It is Hobie Amigo. I have it in various colors because, again, I was making the Incredibles from Disney, that logo. I have a yellow. So I was making that logo for my friend for a baby blanket. I started it before the baby was born. The baby is now a year old, and like a year and a half old, actually. So it might be a second birthday present. But I actually, because I pulled it up and I was actually I wrote a script for this, which I am not following at all. But I did write a script for this video. Because I pulled it up, I actually am really inspired to get rid of this yarn and, well, get rid of it, but make the blanket. And it is just really nice yarn. It even has the old logo. Hobie Amigo has like a different logo now. So that tells you how old it is. But I definitely need to make this blanket. So this might be my next project. Simply because I want to get rid of it. And I promised this blanket to my friend a while ago, and she still doesn't have it. But I'm not following a pattern with this one. It is sort of self-drafted. And I will need to frog the whole thing. So that's unfortunate, but decent sized blanket. I don't know how long it'll be crochet, but yeah, incredibly, probably poorly done self-drafted blanket, but this will have to be frogged and redone because I'm not going to have half the blanket with twisted pearls and the other half with regular pearls, because I'm not going to twist my pearls for the rest of it. I am going to be better. I was making this on 4mm because it is, I'm pretty sure it's a DK, but it recommends 4mm. And so I will probably, when I crochet, I'll probably use a 5mm hook just to make it a little bit more loose and airy. But yeah, I did a lot of work on this and it's all for nothing. So this is my bag of shame that has the blanket in it, and I'd like to get rid of it and actually be able to use this bag for actual projects that I love and enjoy. So hopefully I get rid of that. Speaking of dead whips, I have this. It was going to be a honeycomb scarf for my partner. The pattern is by Emily Boldion. I don't know. I can't pronounce things. I suck at pronouncing things. This is also Estelle double knit, like the pink stuff I was going to make the socks out of. It is 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% polyamide. DK weight, 100 grams. I forget how many meters, 200 meters. I'm not too sure. But I made a mistake on this scarf and it bothers me eternally, so I'm not going to finish it. And I am instead going to be making a kilometer scarf by Florence Miller with it. Part of the reason why I stopped this scarf is also because I just got bored of it. Because you're doing it in patterning, you have to keep track of the rows, and I was sort of getting really tired of keeping track of the rows. So for the kilometer scarf, all I would have to do is knit a stockinette tube over and over again, and I can do that while I watch stuff. So I figured I would frog this, make it into a kilometer scarf, and my partner will have a nice scarf. I have 3 skeins of this. It is this lovely deep purple color, but we'll see. We'll see what I do. Speaking of yarn I haven't talked about, I forgot a hand-dyed sock yarn skein. This is by Riverside Studio, so it is a Canadian. It's hand-dyed in Wakefield, Quebec. It is 113 grams, 384 meters. In color Gloaming, it is 80% merino, 20% polyamide. I actually got this yarn as a present on a first date, and the first date went well. I gave them yarn in return, and I feel really bad about this. It was like really bad acrylic yarn that I just didn't want anymore, so I gave it to them and they took it. And then they gave me actually 2 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. I already used up one of them, but I still have this one left. And I was like, okay, that's a really nice gift for a first date. And we were talking for a little bit more, and then they ghosted me. So I got ghosted, but I also got yarn out of it. So I think I'm the real winner here, but I don't know. They might think themselves of a winner. What haven't I talked about? This. I have some Sandnes Garn Sunday in this butter yellow, which is really trendy, and I didn't know it was trendy when I bought it. I just really like this color. It is color 2122. It is Sunday by Sandnes Garn, which is 50 grams skein of 100% wool, merino wool, and it is 250 meters per skein. I am going to be making the Muka pullover with this. It is a fingering weight yarn, so a fingering weight project. It is this lovely pullover that has it has a lacy sleeve option. I will be making the lacy sleeve option because that is what drew me to the pattern to begin with. I actually started making the Muka pullover about 2 years ago with different yarn, and I put it down and I forgot about it. And then I was like, I don't want to have to buy more of this yarn because I didn't have enough. So I just frogged it and got rid of the yarn. So I don't have the yarn and I don't have the project anymore. but I will be redeeming myself. I will be making the pullover because I bought the pattern and I want to make it. And it will be in this beautiful butter yellow. And I am super excited about that. We're nearing the end of the yarn. I just have some yarn that I don't know what to do with. This skein, I don't even remember what it is because I bought it in the late 2010s. I actually had 3 skeins of this initially, and this is all that remains. I know there's some nylon in it because I did make my friend a pair of socks out of it. It is, I'm pretty sure, a discontinued Lion brand hand-dyed yarn. I don't know if that's familiar to anybody, but I have it in this nice like sky ombre, and I was going to make myself a crop top with it. I don't think there's enough in it to make a crop top. So I don't know, I might just keep this as a skein. This might just be like my pet skein that I keep because I just really like it. I don't want to get rid of it. And I don't know what to do with it. I probably could make myself a pair of socks just based on what's left. I should weigh it. I should really weigh it. But yeah, I've had this for years and it's sort of sentimental to me now. And then I also have, this is also a little bit of scrap yarn that I might donate. But again, this was expensive and I don't want to get rid of it. Because it's very nice. I don't want to give it to my students, rather. Because it's very nice. But I made a mushroom hat with this. Actually, I have a mushroom hat that I can sort of model. So this was like the color, and then these were the spots. I will go grab my mushroom hat to model. So I made one of the mushroom hats with, oh, I dropped it. Made a mushroom hat with like, this is the top, and then this was like the ruffles. I gave it to my friend. I don't remember what this is. I'm pretty sure it's Cascade 220, but I don't remember. I think it's superwash wool, but I am not too certain. But this is just mystery yarn that I have that I might make a pair of socks out of. I know it's not sock yarn, and I know it probably will get disintegrated, but it's just what I have. And when I don't know what to do with yarn that I have left over, I make it into socks. And just because it is a sock that won't last long doesn't mean it won't bring me joy and keep my feet cozy. So we'll do that. And last but not least in my skein, which I completely forgot about, this is Wool Power, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. I actually made a pair of socks with this before, which isn't going to hold up because it's like a roving like single strand ply wool. But I made it into a nice pair of socks for my sister as like sort of reading socks. Like you put them on to like curl up in a chair and read. But yeah, I just have a skein left. So maybe I'll make myself a pair of reading socks, but who knows? But anyways, this is my entire stash, which going through it feels like a lot, but also doesn't feel like a lot at the same time. And hopefully I can just, keep updating and just get rid of all this yarn. I think it would be good to get rid of it. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to continue this journey with me of getting rid of all this yarn and saying hi to my cat, saying hi to my little baby, please hit the subscribe button and we'll see you next time. Have a lovely day. Bye.